So you just take any application, if they enter any input, that automatically captured and stored in the backend as databases in a structured format. So okay, so with help of the Tableau, so we have option to connect multiple sources, and then we are able to convert the raw data into meaningful insight, like different visualization purpose. That's what we the tool used to give insight. It is used to call business intelligence tools. Okay, so the industry, the most of the industry they use like healthcare, finance, and retail, and reporting analytics. So the majorly I told like it help user to understand the business, like based on the data, how the pattern and trend, and easily look at like in the visual part, they can make quick decision. For the purpose, they mainly use the Tableau tool. Okay, and it is a easy way to create an insight. It is not a complex coding tool. It is a drag and drop functionality. Once your data get loaded into Tableau desktop, easily you can drag and drop the dimension measure. Accordingly, you can create a visualizations. It is an easy tool, and there is no coding required for that usage at all. Okay, and majorly I told like it is improved decision making by providing the real time insight for the interactive report for the end user. Okay, so those purpose mainly they'll use a Tableau. So simple like a Tableau is a business intelligence tool. It allows to connect multiple sources to create a meaningful insight for the end user. Okay, so those purpose we are going to use the Tableau tools. Am I clear, right? uh, you guys understand like what is Tableau? I hope you guys understand like what is Tableau, right? Simple term, like it's a business intelligence tools. It allow to connect multiple sources to create a business insight. Okay. So next topic like a Tableau architect. The first 15 minutes we go through the theoretically how it will work, and next 30 to 40 minutes we will work on the practical sessions. Okay. So this is the Tableau architecture. I told like a, so we have Tableau desktop. It is used to connect data from multiple sources. It would be like a any file system. For example, like when we are getting data from Excel source or any SQL database or any API or any cloud platform like AWS, Azure, it allows to connect multiple data source. From Tableau desktop, we are connecting the different data sources, and then we are creating a dashboards. Here we are going to create a different visualization chart. Okay, once we complete the development, so suppose if you want to collaborate with multiple people, we'll push the report into Tableau server. It is one of the product. So we have two product. One is Tableau desktop, where we can perform end-to-end development activity. Once we complete the end-to-end development, and then we will push into Tableau server, the user can access the report in the cloud or server. Okay. So I told like initially it allowed to connect multiple sources, flat file or SQL or API or platform like that. Okay. And then Tableau desktop, it is used to connect data, and we can perform certain data cleaning activity. In certain case, we might get semi-structured data as well as. So in order to handle that, we have different functions like is null, if null, is that end function. So with the help of this function, we will make do data cleanings. Always we will not get any structured data. We might get semi-structured and structured data that can be handled using those functions. Okay. So next one is like extract. So extract, like we are bringing data into our local machine in the .hyper file format. So it will increase the performance, and it is given optimized data. So something like a extracted zip file kind of things. Okay, and then dashboard once we created, we'll push into Tableau server. Once the report can pushed into Tableau server, from there server we will able to manage the security related. So for example, one report can have multiple people access. Some people need to access only finance report, some people need to access only the marketing. So those kind of security and permission and data refresh, like every frequent data need to be updated in the database. Every I mean like live streaming data get to update in our report. So those are the things can be done from the Tableau server end. Okay, so this is our architecture. It's a simple like a data source we will pull, and then we load into Tableau desktop, and then create a dashboard, and we'll push into Tableau server. This is the workflow of Tableau architecture. Okay, so any doubt for this? Okay, next one is like data and development process. The first step, like requirement gathering. So we need to understand the business. So we need to understand the data. So first, like they're giving some Excel data or data source tables. First we need to look at the no data, and then we need to understand the business, and then we can prefer like a data modeling part. So suppose like we are getting multiple tables, okay, so in the table we need to perform different type of joins or relationship. For example, in my requirement I need to create two table A and table B. Okay, so out of these two table I need to create a insight. In that case we need to perform a data modeling part, so which include like a joins, relationship, all these things. Once data is get combined, data model, and then I told earlier, so we need to handle the data cleaning part using the null. Everything can be handled like using some function like z and if null, or we need to correct the data types if it is not correct. And then if you want to filter unnecessary data, we need to avoid those kind of things can be done in the data cleaning part. And then we will create a calculated field to define the KPI. So we have a multiple functions available in the Tableau. So existing data, we might need to define some business logic. For example, in a table, we have a column called category and sales. Suppose I want to calculate the percentage. That column is not coming from the table. So in that case, what we have to do, we have to manually create a logic. So based on the formula, like total sum of sales divided by total sales into 100. So this will give no percentage, right? Like the same manner, we need to create a calculated column. Once that has been done, then we'll go with a chart. So we will be have a inbuilt 24 chart like bar chart, pie chart, donut chart. So with the help of that, we will be able to create a visual, and then we perform some certain of test cases like we need to validate the data accuracy. So before deliver it to the customers, okay. So numbers like the sum of sales, what we have done. So the visually the metrics which we defined, everything is correct or not. We need to perform certain testing and sanity check all the things. Okay, these are the data and development process. So next one is like there is a major concept like key concept of LOD and filter row level security. LOD itself, to compute the data at the different level of aggregations. So we have three types like fixed, include, exclude. So it will compute the value based on the certain dimension level. So in that case we use it. And then filter, majorly it is used to allow the user can able to interact the report. So we should not give any static report. I mean like user can select any value accordingly. We need to display the visual values as well. As for example, if you have multiple regions, suppose user select a region as a south, then the entire report should show only the region south data, not other region. So that's how we need to create a filter to make interactive features. And then parameter, it's a dynamic value. User can give an input value. For example, top 10 customer wise sales which we created. So user can have an input to change the top 10 instead of top 20. If they enter it 20, accordingly they can change the values. Next one is row level security. Initially I told like so I have implemented report which include all the region data, east, west, north, south. Okay, it is a common report. When I pushed into Tableau server, when I'm logging and accessing the report, I could able to see only the south data. I should not see other region data. When other people who's living in the east region, when they log in, they can see only the east region data. They should not see south or west data. So those kind of a restriction can be done using the row level security. Okay, these are the key concept of LOD and filter row level security. Next, deployment and the best practice. So once we complete end-to-end development, I told like initially we have a two tool. One is Tableau desktop where we perform end-to-end development activity, and then that is available in our local mission. We need to push into Tableau server to collaborate with multiple business user. Okay, so we will push the report into Tableau server or cloud platform, and then we need to set up the permission. So we need to give a control to the user based on that their role. Like some people they need only the interactive feature like view. Some people they need an edit, or some people they need to download the report, download the data to make a quick make an analysis. All the certain kind of permission can be defined in the server. And then data refresh is a very important things. So every day transaction data happen, like every day, like suppose date today, I mean like daily transaction data to be happen, that automatically need to capture and update in our report. So we need to create a scheduler. For example, today's data get updated 6 o'clock. Then my job need to run from 6:30 to get the latest record. In that case, we are going with the refreshment activities. Okay, data refresh. So and then performance optimization. Performance is one of the best approach. So when we are working a huge volume of data, okay, we should consider performance as well as. So when user click any actions, it could respond like within a second. It should not take more than 5 minutes or 10 minutes, like. So in order to avoid that, we need to follow certain performance optimization technique, like extracting the data and reducing the data size, all the things. Okay. So coming to best practice to include a simple design, unlimited visual, and user friendly, more interactive. So that is a best way, designing the dashboard. And then once we give it to end user, we'll get a feedback about the report. If they required any changes, we'll rework and improve the quality of dashboard and usabilities. Okay, these are about deployment and best practice. Okay, so these are about like the workflow and theoretically information. So Tableau, I already installed my machines, Tableau desktop. The interface look like this way. So it is not an open source product, it is an enterprise versions. Okay, simply I'll show you. So this is my Tableau desktop audio interface. So I told like initially it is allowed to connect multiple data source. For example, if you go with more options, so here we have option like to connect the flat files. My data is coming from the Excel or text file or JSON or PDF. So we have option to connect different file system. Suppose my data is sitting from different databases. It could be MySQL or Oracle or Google Analytics or BigQuery. So based on the industry usage, they are given option to connect multiple data sources. This span. Okay. Now my requirement is I just need to connect the Microsoft Excels. Just click on Microsoft Excel. It navigates into your local machines. I have already some sample data in my local machines. I just load this data. Sample superstore is my data set. Once you load data from the Excel into Power BI, like a Tableau desktops, you can see the list of tables. In the file, we have multiple sheet like orders and people and return. You just drag the table which you required. So my requirement, I just take only the order tables. If you drag and drop, so out of these table, like what are the columns available, like row ID, order date, ship mode, customer ID. These are the data which is available from the orders tables. You just drag the table from this pan. Okay, suppose I have multiple tables. Okay, so I'll just drag the people table as well as. So it automatically create a relationship between the orders and the people table. If you look at here, so the common column between these two table is a region. Okay, so based on the region, the relationship has been created from the orders and the people table. This is how when we are working on multiple table, we can create a relationship. Like this is called like a data modeling part. And then you can see that there is an option like live and extract. Live means it is a live streaming data. Whenever the changes happen the table, it automatically get reflect in our report. Okay, it is a live streaming data. There is a one more connectivity called extract connection. Extract connection is like a, so we are bringing data inside to like inside to our local machines. So performance wise, like extract connection will be fast because since the data is reading from our local machines. But live connection depend on the user requirement. For example, like when you're watching IPL match, when they hit 6 or 4 something fraction of the second, that will get updated and the show in the bar chart or text summary, right? Those are the source it defined as a live connections. Okay, so now you placed all the table which we required in the data modeling part, and then you just navigate with the sheet one. These are the attribute available from the table. Okay, there is a concept called dimension and measure. Okay, so dimensions contains whatever the data we cannot make a cumulative. I mean like a non-aggregated data that fall under dimensions. Whatever the column which make cumulative, aggregations that fall under measure. You see here category, what would be the value? If I'll bring category, so what would be the value? You see like a furniture and office supplier and this technology. It is a text values. So all the text and the date, these are the column will fall under dimensions. Okay. So if you look at it automatically split. So if you look at discount, profit and quantity. So if I'll drag the discount, it automatically show the aggregation like sum of discount. So wherever we have numerical data, that will fall under measures. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the color representation, when you pull any category in the row, so the color show like a blue color, right? So blue color indicate like a dimension. If you drag and drop any measure, that indicate as a profit. Okay. So next one is like we have a different section over there, right? Like here you see column self and row self, and then page and filter. We have a different mark cards. Okay. And then if you go with the show me card, we have a multiple sheet, multiple visual like text table, heat map, and then highlight, and then geographic bar chart. Like we have a different visual. I'll explain you like one by one. So when you plot any visual, we have a two axes. So for example, if I'll take subcategory into row and then sales into column, sorry, row, sales into row. So you see two axes. One is x-axis and y-axis. That's what indicate like this column and row. So this chart simply showing a subcategory wise what was the sales happened. Even though you can swap it like a subcategory, just bring down and then sales in the column, it automatically swap horizontal into vertical, vertical into horizontal. You can swap it as per your requirement. You clear, right? Like what is the rows and column? You just drag the dimension measure into the rows and column. It will act like x and y axis. Accordingly, you will be able to plot a visuals. Okay. So next one is like here we have page self. Okay. So it is like page and filter is a more interactive features. For example, if I'll pull order date in the page self, you see somewhat like a play button. So if I'll click this play button, so what happened here? What happened here? This kit automatically changing, right? So based on the year, now 2022. So if I click, and then it changed like 2023 sales, and then 24 sales and 25 sales, like kind of no play button. That's how the page self will work. Okay. So next one is like if you have a filter sections. Okay. If you pull out like category into filter, and then I can select all, and then right click show filter. So if I select like furniture, so what happened? The visual show only the furniture related data. If I select office supplier, these visual show only the office supplier related data. If you select all, it show all the data. This filter will give more interactive to the user. For the reason used filters. Okay, so clear? It's like in the mark card. So we have a different option like color, size, label, detail, and tooltip. So I just drag the category into color. Sorry, not category. I just drag the subcategory into color. What happened now? Each and every category representing with the different colors. If you want to compare, category across multiple color, just drag the required dimension to the color self. Okay. So next one is like we have a size and label. Let me come to the size. So next one is label. So presently you will be not get to know. So what was a sales for the accessory. When you move on the cursor, then you will get to know accessory sales like 1,67,380 rupees. If you're not moving the cursor, you could not able to see it like what was the sales values. So I want to show the sales value. Just drag the sales into the label. So what happened now? So you can easily see the accessory sale how much and appliance sales how much and art sales how low and then binder sales how much. That's what the label will work. How this what label will work. Okay. So next one is like so when you move on the cursor, like you see accessory respective sales values. I don't want to change the visual. Additionally, I want to show some values. For example, like presently show like a subcategory wise sales. Additionally, I want to show the profit or quantity without changing the visual. So for that case, we can use a detailed or tooltip. Okay, simply you just bring the quantity column into tooltip. Now you just move the cursor. You see, additionally, I can see the quantity as well as right. Okay, so same functionality. If we use a profit into detail, even though I can see like profit, quantity, sales according to the subcategory. So detail under tooltip, it is used to show the additional information without changing the visual. Clear? Team clear?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. So next one is like we have a size. Okay, size is like a, so for example, subcategory and then sales. Just show me card. Just go to the circle. So now the size depend on the sales values. Like you could see, like the phone sales is high, so the circle size is a big one. If you could see the paper, the circle size is small due to the sales value small. So like that way comparison, we can use a size. Okay, these marker is clear, right? Color means what? Size, label, and detail, and tooltip. Okay, so if you drag and drop, like if I'll go to the line chart, you see additionally I got path. Okay, so when you plot any line chart, for example, just take order date, right click, I just take a month, year, and then sales value. This is my line chart. Okay, if you want to represent like multiple ways, if you click on that, you see here line type it get changed. If you want to represent line chart with multiple ways, then we can use a path. Okay, so next if I'll change it like a pie chart, so we got additionally angle. Okay, so now category, I'll put it in the color. So you see the angle, it is equally distributed. Angle is equally distributed. Okay, so now I drag the sales and value into the angle. So just put a label. You see that this angle a little bit big compared to these two, since the values a little bit high compared to the furniture and office supplier. So depend on the sales value, the angle size get increase, other one it get decrease. That's how the angle get represented. Okay, so next one is like when you select marker shape. Now I pull the category. So I just want to bring some image over there. Furniture means I just need to some display some logos. Office supplies means I need to display some logos. Technology means I need to display some logos. Just drag the label into the shape and then click on it. So here you have a multiple image. So respective, for example, I just take this image. Furniture means this one. Office supply means this one. So you just bring the image, let's respective logo. Suppose we want to add in the sheet level, then you can take this one. Okay, so this marker is clear for the functionality of marker. Okay, so next one is like a the column and row already I given a, explanation. So next one is like show me card. So here default they given a 24 chart. Okay, this is a depend on your data, so you can create a multiple way of representations. For example, so if you go move on the cursor, you see here for heat map, measure, dimension, so where I have to use these, all the detail will be given. So in build like we have 24 chart, depend on your requirement, you can create a appropriate chart to create a visualization part. Okay. So for comparison, we can create a bar chart. If you want to show the geographical representation, then you can create a map chart. If you want to show the text summary visual, then you can go with the text map. If you want to show the trend line to compare month over month or year over year, how the sales across multiple month to show the trend, then you can go with the line chart. We have dual axis where we can compare category wise sales and profit. So depend on your data how we are going to representation, you can select appropriate visuals. Okay, so here you see I've created a multiple sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3, sheet 4. Okay, this is how we can create a multiple sheet is like a individual view representations. For example, this visual show only the subcategory wise sales. This visual show only the subcategory wise sales with a different visualization like a circle chart. So this is how we can create a multiple sheet. So we have option here dashboard. Dashboard is nothing like a collection of worksheet. So if I change like, so you see in the left side like we have a multiple sheet what we created over there, right? Sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. So all the sheet get visible over there. You just drag and drop whatever the sheet. You see here I have a multiple sheet. Dashboard nothing like a, it's a collection of sheets. Okay, so we have other one like a storyboard. Storyboards nothing like it's a combination of sheet as well as the dashboards. Combination of sheet as well as the dashboards. So for example, like you see, we have multiple sheet and as well as like we have a dashboard. Just drag and drop, and then you just add blank, and then you add one more sheet. You see here, I have a dashboard as well as like we have sheets. So storyboard like so something like in story means what? So we are telling like the business flow from A to Z, like in the sequencing manner. So when you create any PPT or any story, when you are telling, you will be start position and end position, right? Like the flow will come, right? That's how we are going to represent in the data in a visual in the story manner. Okay. So this is clear, right? Storyboard means what? Dashboard, sheet.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What we can do? So we'll create one report. I mean, like it include the end-to-end development. So I told like initially, so we loaded the data, and then we'll create a multiple sheet, and then we'll put into all the sheet in the dashboard, and then we'll create an interactive face. Like once you get load the data into your Tableau desktop, and then first you need to define the KPI. KPI means like a key performance indicator. That means like whatever the value additionally, I mean like when you business looking on your report, so which key metrics it will give add value for the business, that we need to take in the first sheet. Like here I just take a measure names and then measure values. You see, I have a multiple KPIs which show like a what was a total sales and then quantity, how much profit we earned, what was the discount which I have given, and then number of orders. Okay, I just remove this count of people. So first one is like a total sales, how much happened, and then how much profit we earned. And then what was the discount? So number of orders. So these are the key metrics. So when you look onto the report, so you are able to easily understand like number of orders like this much. Out of that, like how much sales happened, and that how much profit we earned, and how much discount given, how many quantity we sold in the store. So these are the key performance indicator, okay, which I have put in the sheet one, and then I just change like a KPIs. So I'll make some formatting. The formatting is an important one. So we should look and feel it's a very good one. So I just go format. Here we have option to change the font color, font family, everything. So I just take a Calvary and then I just make some borders. Okay. Here I change it like a number of orders. Okay. So format, just bring it like center, and then this text value also I just bring it to center. Okay, then if I want to give some background color, just format, just go here, and then header I just put some background color. Okay, so the now font color if you want to change, go to header and then make it like a white. Okay, so this is how we have to define the first visual. So this is clear, right? This indicate like the KPIs, key performance indicator, like so same like I'll create one more sheet where I can show the subcategory wise sales. Let's just take this way. Then review. Same I'll do format Calvary, and then I'll make sorting, access values. Okay, so this will represent as a subcategory wise sales. I'll just give a header. You can change the font size. I just take 12. Then I want to display the label. This is one of the visual where I can show the subcategory wise sales. Okay, so I just create a one more visual where I can show the geographic wise. So I have a state column. If I click that, you could see like 59 unknowns. So since like we are using US data, so but it locate India, so just take United State and click on OK. So now you see the United State map is get plotted. Still some unknown value due to the spelling mistake that cannot recognize exactly. Just I'll add it, and then I just take a sales into the size. I'll increase the size. So based on the circle size, so you just look at like California. So The circle size is big due to the sales is high. Just Colorado, the circle size is low due to the sales is not much high. So circle size indicate based on the sales value. Okay, and then you can change the map, background color, everything. So like the state means like this, or dark means like this. You can change it like the format as well as. I just make a blank. Okay, so this clear, right? So just make a header and just this one is like a state wise sales. Okay, so I'll create one more visual where I can show the region wise sales. Okay, so format same like Tableau. This one is like a copy. Instead of state, I can use a region wise sales. Okay, so I'll create one more visual where I can show the subcategory wise sales and then profit. So I'll make dual axis. I don't want this header, let it show header. And then same like format, font, calculate. So this is two graphical representation where bar showing like a sales and then line showing a um, profit based on like category. So this is a subcategory basis. So this is how we will be creating a multiple worksheet. Okay, so I'll create one more visual where I can show the trend line. So I just take a order date, click and just take a month and year, and then discrete or what. I just take month alone and then sales value. This is like a trend review. Order date, the color. So we have multiple years. So you see 2022 blue color and then 26 orange color. So I will be comparing month over month for different years. How the sales in progress. Okay. So what I'll do. format Calvary. This is so this is how we will be creating a multiple worksheet. Okay, so business requirement based on that. Okay, so now what we are going to do, so I just bring some filter over there, like order date year and then segment. Just blindly I'm bringing some category segment and then region. Just I'll be adding only three attribute here. Okay, then I'll go to the dashboard. So here we have a different features depend on your use case. Like suppose user want to see in a visual in a mobile layout, so we have option. Just go to the phone and device preview. Here you can see multiple type. So the dashboard which we are going to design the for the phone layout, the end user want to see the report in the phone, then you can see select a phone and then drag the visual over there. If they're looking for tab, then you can select tab. If they're looking for desktop, then you can select desktop. And then we have different models. Suppose we have phone means we have different iPhone, what was a pixel size, and the iPhone i7, Samsung, Google Pixel, Nexus series. So these are we can select the device layout. Okay, so for now I just take a dashboard, browse desktop view and the automatic. Okay, so you see whatever the like sheet what we created, all the sheet get visible over the right, and then you just bring all the sheet into the report. I'll bring the KPI so first, just hide the header, and then I will bring the and then bring the region by seats, take it out, fit with the standard. So this is how we have to place our worksheet, like the business workflow. So first I'll show state by sales and then region wise sales and then monthly trend and subcategory sales, subcategory sales and profit comparison. And then I'll make some formatting over there. Just right click, fit into entire view. So what I'll do, I'll just make a border of this visual layout and then border is okay. Then you have to give the dashboard title, show title. So just simply I'll give a sales summary overview. So I just bring some filter, just right click on the sheet, just go to the filter. Then I've added simple filter like segment and then filters here and then country region. Just put it on top. If you want to like this legend, you can keep or you can remove it. I just remove this one. Only keep here, right click. I just want multiple drop down. Here also I want multiple drop down, and then here also I have multiple drop down. Okay, so I'll just make a border of this report as well as. Okay, so now you see if I'll select segment, so it get apply only these visuals, so it not reflecting other visuals. What we can do, so right click, apply to selected worksheet. So whatever the sheet we have put in the report, I mean like in the dashboard, just select all, then click on OK. Now you see if I select like consumer, so the data it show only the related to consumer, not corporate or home appliance. Same way I do this as well as apply to selected worksheet, select all, and then OK. Same like region, apply selected worksheet, all dashboard, then click on OK. Okay, so if you want to make border of this one, you can make a border of this one. Okay, so finally you completed, then I just give a save summary. It is my dashboard name. Okay, and then right click, hide all the sheet. So this is how we have to design the dashboards. So this is how we have to design the dashboard. We can make some more formattings like this background color, format title, so like shading, something like that. So if you want to make, we can add a background color and to make more look and feel. Okay, so this is clear, right? So data source 25. So this is my data which I have loaded into my Tableau desktop. So when you look at the data, you see we have multiple column like row ID, order date, ship mode. So we have multiple column, right? Sales quantity, discount, profit. So out of these data, are you able to summarize anything? Like when you look at the data, you could not able to understand. Like you can understand the data. So like row ID means what, order ID means what, order date means what, ship date means what. You can understand the variable, but overall summary, you will not get it. You need to work on the Excel side to create a summary, right? So these data was converted into like this format. Now you can easily understand like overall number of orders, and out of that like how much sales happened, and then what was the profit, and how much discount we are given, and then how much quantity we sold out, and then you can see state wise how much sales happened. Like when you move on the cursor, California, so this much sales happened, and then Colorado, this much sales happened. So West region how much happened, like that you can able to summarize. This is how like easily understandability, right? When you look at the data comparatively, when you look at the report, which one is more interactive and easily understandable? This one is a more easy and understandable, right? And it gives the overall summary. Okay, this is how the Tableau tool will help to convert the raw data into meaningful insight with the interactive features. You just go to the dashboard action, then add action, filter, and then you select source and target, and then select option, and then click on OK. Suppose if I'll be selecting like California, so what happened now? So according to your selection, the other visual get shown the 11 data. You see the California sales 4,57,688 rupees. You see the above KB also showing the same value, right? So out of this country how many orders no happened? 2,001 order out of how much sales, and this particular country how much profit we earned, and what was the discount given, and how much quantity we sold out. And also you can see that trend for this specific country, like in January, February, March, year-wise how the sales progress, and also you can see subcategories for the particular country. If you click on dashboard action, show all values, not key value. So now I'll be specifically California. Now I'll be click on more time, so it will bring back the old how it look like and take data. suppose if you click waste regions, so you see according to waste, like what of the state is falling respect to sales, and the above KPI also get changed according to the waste region sales, and the trend also showing according to the waste and the subcategory. These also get updated. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So this is how we have to create a report. So since the report present in my local machine, right? So I'm going to share with the stakeholder or end user or business guys. This is the Tableau desktop. It allows to create an end-to-end development activities. Okay. So there is another product called Tableau server. Okay. So whatever the development which we done in our local machine, we need to push the report into Tableau server. Okay. That has been hosted from the on-premises or cloud, depend on the business need. Once they set up all the server from the cloud or on-premises, then we'll push the report into Tableau server. Just we'll publish it. Since the report is in my local machine, right? You cannot access, right? The development has been done from my local machines. If you guys trying to access the report, you can't, right? Because it was present in my local machines. So what you have to do, this option called server. So these are all the paid one. So we need to set up the server in the cloud, and then we get the URL, and then you paste it there, and then they'll provide a credential like username, password, and then you have to deploy this report into Tableau server, and from there you'll be get a link like a URL, HTTPS, Google.com, like that, right? Same thing, this URL you'll get it. That URL you need to share with the multiple people, and before they used to add the user into Tableau server, then they got a permission, then they able to access and then interact if they want to download the data, so they can perform all the necessary activity from the Tableau server end. So same manner, what we can do, so we can create a multiple report. So here I have created only one report, which shows like a sales summary overview. So I just create a simple one table, which shows the simple one text table. So category and then subcategory, something like a sales, and then profit. Just one summary table which I've created here. Okay, so simple. Like I've created one more report called dashboard 2. So here you see only one sheet. Since I have all the sheet to be utilized in the dashboard one. So that's what. So remaining only one sheet over the left. Like this here. Okay, so this sheet show only the detailed report. The first report show overall summary representation with the multiple graphs. Okay, the second dashboard showing all the detailed information in the text summary. Okay, suppose user looking the report, so they want to navigate from report 1 to report 2. Okay, so we have dashboard action, add action, filter. So from summary 2 we can navigate to dashboard 2. So now it show only the one sheet. Summary we have multiple sheet, and then we have option called menu, and then show all values. And then click on OK. So suppose user clicking the particular region, you can see some URL over the filter 2. If you click on that, you can navigate to dashboard 2 according to the selected regions here. They can see it over there. Okay, so from here I can give a button to navigate, go back to the summary. There's option called navigations. Just put some button over there. Here, edit button, and then they will be navigating from the sales summary. So they on the summary tab, they were checking for no visual representation, and then they want to look at the detail level granularity data. So that's what we created a one more report show all the text summary. So they can click and then navigate to the report 2. They can see the respective sales values. Okay, and then they have given navigation button. If they click on that, they can come back to the sales summary.
So there is no programming need here, just tool functionality. So it is a paid one, we will not get any open source product. So initially they will give a 14 days trial versions. Directly you just get downloaded from that Google. Just type it like Tableau desktop download. So they'll give a 14 days trial version. So just get download it, and then if you have any sample data, just load and create a report like this manner. Okay. Once the 14 days license get expired, so what you want to do, so we have other product called Tableau Public. Okay, that is completely open source. Okay, so you just get download it, but the thing is you cannot save it in your local machine. That can be boosted in the service, I mean like a public account, not in your local machine. Whatever the development which you are doing in local, that you cannot save it in your local machine, that you push back into the public account. Okay, so do get some hands-on using the Tableau public or 14 days trial versions and get more practice, then you will get hands-on.